Jean Daguilar here with Better Homes and Gardens in the Houston, Texas area. I'm sitting here with Megan Shivers of the Homeowners Association. She is the Assistant General Manager. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning.
Thanks for sitting down with me. I am probably one of those residents that never really read the deed restrictions, never attend HOA meeting,
Uh-oh.
and sometimes complain.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be good when I'm doing these videos for people like me
Mm-hmm.
to be just a little bit more educated
Mm-hmm.
on the benefits of a homeowners association.
Sure.
So my questions will be really around the responsibilities, the benefits of an HOA, um, how you serve the community that you work for, and what we as residents can do to help you guys, that sort of thing.
Okay.
But let's start with like what you want people to know about homeowners associations.
Yeah. There is a lot of, I think, miseducation about
Okay.
HOAs, right? And ultimately, at its core, an HOA exists to help maintain the overall quality, appearance, and functionality of a community.
Okay.
The goal is to protect the investment of a
Mm.
homeowner, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the biggest investment that a lot of people are going to make
Exactly.
in
In
their
their
entire
lives.
lives. And the goal is to protect that shared investment that they've made. And so we maintain the common areas, we establish consistent standards, we provide services like amenities, programs,
Mm.
lifestyle for the benefit of the neighborhood as a
Mm-hmm.
whole. So,
And that's good. And
yeah,
that's really good because we want our home values to stay up, right?
absolutely.
We don't want our neighborhoods run down.
Yeah.
So when we complain, we need to keep that in mind, I
Yeah.
guess.
And I think a lot of the frustration comes from misunderstanding what an HOA is responsible for,
Mm-hmm.
or why certain processes exist.
Yeah. Yeah.
So communication is really
It's
important,
important.
and
Definitely.
education is really
Definitely.
important.
So
So
if another neighbor doesn't do as well with their property as I do with my property, you guys kind of help us,
mhm.
right? Either in a dispute or whatever. How does that work? I
Right.
mean,
It's really important to take the time to read the governing documents and the deed restrictions. You
okay.
never want to assume that one community's governing documents are the same as the next community's
Oh, like
governing
when you move to
documents.
another little, even adjacent neighborhoods.
Correct. Every community's documents are
Mm-hmm.
unique and different. There may be
Mm-hmm.
similarities
Mm-hmm.
um, because there's state statutes that are going to govern,
Okay.
similarities across the board, of course. But every community's documents are different. So it's very important to be familiar with your community's specific
Right.
governing documents.
Right.
They're going to set guidelines for your board of directors. They're going to set guidelines for your deed restrictions, what you can and cannot do in terms of architectural guidelines,
Mm-hmm.
for meeting schedules, for voting schedules, for elections. So it's very important to be familiar with those documents.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, the management is going to step in and help resolve neighbor to neighbor disputes.
Mm-hmm.
But what's really helpful is it's going to have less to do with opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Governing documents are really going
It's
to help
pretty black and white.
establish a standard for
Ah,
resolving those disputes because it's just going to be based on what the policy is
right.
and less to
Right.
do with opinions,
Right.
which is very helpful
Right.
in those circumstances.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So I also was curious about something when you warn somebody about, you know, grass too high or whatever. Is there ever a situation where you can even have a lien on a property? I mean, you do a process of, and I'm sure all HOAs do this, process of communicating that a breach of, the restriction or breaking the restriction or whatever. But over time, could there be a issue if they're not responding or not doing something? Again, back to the policies and procedures
Yes.
that you just remind people of?
If the governing documents of a community allow for that in their process, yes. There could be an instance, depending on the violation, for a lien to be put on the property. Sometimes governing documents allow for management to step in and force maintain a property to come within the standard so that it doesn't affect property values for the remainder of the community.
Gotcha.
And it maintains the aesthetics and it doesn't
Gotcha.
affect the rest of the neighborhood.
Gotcha.
And so in that case, whatever cost was incurred by the association to maintain that property, to maintain the aesthetics, it would go on as a lien on that property, potentially. It depends what's in the documents.
I wish everybody would not just watch this, but sit down and really get to know their HOA leaders and attend the HOA meetings. Do you see that that's something that could be improved in the process too? More neighbors getting involved?
Absolutely. And we're very encouraging in terms of please come to our meetings. Please ask us questions. We love to see the residents come and attend our meetings. We love to share information about the projects we're completing. We send our newsletters for the different communities that we manage. It's all, like I said, it's all about education. It's all about sharing information, as much information as we can share. Because a lot of times the only interaction a resident is going to have with their HOA is they're going to get that pesky letter in the mail that says mow your grass and put your trash can away. And in their entire home ownership life, that's the only interaction they're ever going to have. And that's a negative experience. We'd rather they have an interaction where they come to a meeting and learn about the budget, learn about the governing documents, learn that their HOA did a whole planting project or put in a new swing set at the park, or have budgeted $500,000 into their reserve account, or all of these different things, that they're being good stewards of all of the finances. It's all of that education.
All things to benefit the community, the residents, the value of your home.
It's a trickle effect too.
It really is, because those things you just described would be things I would be looking for when I'm listing a home to sell, because we want to look at the neighborhood and promote the neighborhood that the home is in, right? So and then that person that buys it, they're buying it because look at the community, right? Look at the community this home sits in. So HOAs are very important. Everybody knows that. We just need to fall in love again with our HOA.
And look, if an HOA is not for you, then go buy in a community that doesn't have one.
That doesn't have one. That's true. That's true. Well, Miss Megan, thank you.
Absolutely.
I learned a little bit more. And I know I'm going to be patient and try to make sure I fall in love again with my HOA.
Good. I'm glad.
And read. I need to read really the procedures. I need to read the policies.
I mean, it's a lot of legal jargon. I'm sure. I don't blame you for dozing off a little bit.
Anything else you want to tell us before?
Like I said, it can be a little daunting to really dive deep into what an HOA is and get involved. But once you really kind of open that door, it can become a bit of a passion project to invest in the investment you've already made. And it is important. So I think that I would just encourage homeowners out there to really just dive into the community they've already made an investment in.
Right.
And I think they'll
just see the benefits,
be even more passionate about their home.
I agree. I believe that too. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.